What is up, everyone? I'm Skratch. Welcome to the channel. This is another Dragonheir Silent Gods video. Today, we're going to do my final boss for the Lunar Halo Radiance event, guys. I already collected the legendary hero, but I still gotta do one more boss. And honestly, this is the toughest out of all of them. Before we move over to that, I just want to say a big shout out to Dragonheir for sponsoring today's video. If you guys are new to the channel or you haven't tried Dragonheir Silent Gods just yet, what are you waiting for? Season 2 Following Crescent is live in-game, guys, bringing a new sandbox, new game optimization, new strategy, new bosses, new heroes. Now, if you want to download the game, you can head over to the link in the description down below, or you can scan the QR code you see on the screen and get involved with Dragonheir Silent Gods. Moving back to today's main topic, guys. Lossenia, the poison boss. She gets more poison damage. She's not really a poison hero. She's actually an ice hero. And my god, she is devastating, guys. Now, I've tried this on the test server as well, because I do have the opportunity to play a bit around on the test server. So I can see what champions I can build before I do it, just to make sure I'm getting the right things. And I'll be very honest with you. I am struggling a bit with this boss, because I already used Zephy on the lightning team. Big mistake, and probably we're not going to be able to reach 22 million damage. But I'm going to show you probably the best team that can reach 11 million damage. And yes, you can do a couple of changes. So let's actually head over and check out the team, the boss. So Lossenia, for whoever is not familiar, basic attacks cast an ice ball that bounces between enemies, dealing cold damage with a chance to put frost. Then you have this skill that's near her that will only affect our tank, Frorbart, marks an ally for 6 seconds, dealing damage with a chance to inflict frost. And then you have this ultimate, summons an ice tornado at a designated location and deals cold damage with a chance to inflict frost. So this is actually pretty nasty, because she deals a lot of damage. That's the main thing. So the way we are positioning our characters, guys, we're going to have Eli moving here. We're going to have Sigrid moving there. And Frorbart going all the way to Lossenia. And Lossenia will only hit Frorbart and Hexandra, okay? Now, I am using 2 legendary artifacts. I am using Witch's Remains on Eli. And I am using the bells on Hexandra. I wish I would use an epic or a rare just to show it to you guys, but the problem is that I have no more essence of creation to level it up, you know, and it's just going to be a bit of a pain to get it organized without having that. I really wanted to use the Platinum Knight Shield on Frorbart instead of the Scarab Amulet. The problem was that, again, I had no more essence of creation to level it up to 20 to get the maximum potential out of them, you know. Now, the whole idea behind this team, guys, is that we have Theodore. Theodore is an amazing champion that can put decreased speed penalty on the enemy. So because of it, we're not going to allow the boss to stack her damage so fast, and at the same time, we're going to decrease her cycle of rotation from 18 seconds to 21 approximately. And then we have more attack penalty. The only thing with Theodore, he has a very long cooldown on this skill. I wish it would be just a 20 seconds. It's making it much harder for us to kind of like speed tune the team, basically, you know. And I have a serial set on him with the Crown of the Unclean. When he will land debuffs, he will give increased attack to the rest of my team. I have Sigrid built on an Inventor set with the Eyeball of the Giant. No accuracy. Thankfully, we have Theodore to put more decreased attack, so we don't need that. We want Sigrid just to deal as much damage as possible. Eli on a Gambler set because of his multi-hits. Hopefully, this will bring more damage than an Inventor set on him. With the Witch's Remains, of course, you do need to have 230 plus accuracy on them without the 5-man elemental affinity bonus that you get from here. And this is what I am with my 5-man elemental affinity bonus. I've maxed everything on poison and lightning, except the damage reduction. So I just need basically 3 more levels on the damage reduction in order to have it maxed. And how I mentioned, this is my account, guys. It's not the test server. I do have a bit of a skill timing, a bit of a preset right here. I have Frorbart putting the attack down always at 20 seconds with a 21 seconds interval to make sure he's not cutting on the boss. Now, it shouldn't necessarily be a problem as long as we don't get resisted on the recharge speed penalty. We should be spot on with the decrease attack. Then, of course, I have Eli going in front of Sigrid. Then later on, we have Theodore putting his defense penalty. Theodore will always overlap the other ones regardless because he has 22.5 seconds. So eventually he will underlap rather than overlap, you know. But that being said, guys, let's jump into the run. Hopefully we're going to hit the 11 plus million straight off the back. Of course, the more damage, the better. I'll be taking as much as possible because my other teams perform really, really well compared to this one, you know. And I've done a mistake that I used Zephy on the Lightning. If you have Zephy or Ogok in here instead of Hexandra, you're easily going to do 22 plus million damage, you know. The main thing is to have those two characters to be able to keep your team alive. You will realize that the main issue here is not the damage, is the lack of survivability. Even though I have my Flurbart pretty tanky, he's still struggling to stay alive. And I have decreased attack on Lossenia, so keep that in mind too. Of course, it's definitely pretty hard to get it done. I do have an Ancestral Protection set on him too, a Moonlight set on my Hexandra to get a bit of extra healing. Sigrid will hit for approximately 270k. With defense down, with the increased attack from the Cyril set, and with the stats that she currently has on, you know. So how you may notice, the damage is fine, it's spot on. We're easily going to reach 22 plus million damage as long as we are able to survive. My main issue is that we cannot survive all the way to the end like I was doing it last season, for example, in season 1. But of course, that was a completely different boss. So this time around is a bit more different. She hits really hard, actually, Lossenia. Even with that decreased attack, I feel like she's just a bit too much, a notch too much, you know. So on all the other teams, I've managed to do a pretty impressive score, at least for my account. It's very impressive, the score. I'm very satisfied with the score that I've managed to achieve on the other bosses. I have a pretty good ranking. For the last few weeks, I actually had a very good ranking on the leaderboard, which resulted in better rewards. That's why I was able to get my Psychic Core leveled up so much. But the problem that I actually have here is that this will mess me up a lot if I'm not able to get a decent amount of damage, you know. So I'm still trying to at least do a top 20, preferably, hopefully, you know. So we have the decreased attack from Theodore on there. And you see we are getting a lot of damage, and we're only halfway through, and we still have, we do have decreased speed penalty on her too, which reduces how fast she's stacking her attack. Imagine if you wouldn't have that either. Like, she would just destroy you. And no matter how I tried to position Hexandra to be closer to Flurbart, so she gets the healing from his battle skill, I just haven't managed to make that without getting my other champions damage, you know. So there we go. That's where the team goes down. That's it. You know, like on the test server, I managed to get slightly more damage. I think I got up to 16 million damage the most, but that was like probably out of like 5-6 tries. That was the best damage that I managed to achieve from there, you know. And that's where we are with this Lossenia. I really think that without Oguk and Zephy, it's not very doable to reach the 22 million damage, you know. But either way, we managed to get this 13.6. I'll be very honest, I think I'll just cash it in. I have 8,000 points more from here. I'll show you the build on the champions in a second. We'll get these rewards from here, call it a day. And this is the final week, basically. So, because I already have Ardred, I already purchased Heliolite dice because I got a lot of fragments actually from here. So if we're gonna go at the event, you see, I literally collected maximum fragments. I'm missing one just from this run right now, and challenge leaderboard, I collected 12 so far from there, if I'm not mistaken. And right now, seems like my points were not added on top of it, but I'll be somewhere at 80,000. So my real ranking will be top 20. Yeah, I'll do top 20 this time around, which is still good because the rewards are not too bad. I think 6 to 20 is still the same. So what I really want from here is the Echo of Clepsydra and of course the Affinity Solvent. But you see 80,000, and that puts me right on top 17. So I'm gonna get top 17 if nothing nothing changes in here. But let me just quickly show you the rest of my teams, and then we're gonna go over to show you the builds on the characters. So challenge record. You see, look at the difference. Look at the difference from the other bosses. The Necrosis was a bit challenging, but that's because I haven't used a different strategy that I will be using in the Otherworld event, which opens for me in 4 hours on our server, guys, for whoever started playing at around the same time with me. But what I'll be doing in the Otherworld event, I'll only do one poison team because it's just very, very hard to deal with Lossenia, and I'll remove Zephy from the lightning boss and bring Zephy here instead of Hexandra and put Hexandra there, and it will be spot on. You don't need to deal more than 22 million damage in the Otherworld event, you know, so I'll be fine. But we got 13 million there, 37 on the fire, we got 50 million on Radiance, 26 on Necrosis, 35 on Lightning, 78 on Ice Blast. That's how I managed to rank so high. That's how I managed to collect all the fragments every week, you know. Like, I left this boss for the last intentionally. The Otherworld exploration opens in 4 hours, more or less, for me, guys. Definitely exciting because that's when the season is in full swing, you have all the bosses that you gotta do. You're constantly engaged to build teams, and that's kind of like the rush for the season. I like that feeling a lot. So talking about the champions that we had, you've seen, if you don't have the Witch's Remains, you can still reach 11 million damage. You just might have to retry it a couple of times. If you have a different artifact instead of the bells, you're gonna be fine too, but just make sure it's at 20 to really activate its full potential. So that's my Flurbart, guys. These are his total stats: 92k HP, 4.2k defense, almost 237 accuracy. Hexandra, she is on a Moonlight set, 53k HP, 3.6k defense, 50 skill haste, 231 enlightenment. You want to have a lot of enlightenment on her. Then we have the damage dealers, starting with Theodore. He is on a serial set, how I mentioned, 40k HP, which doesn't matter. All that matters on these back characters is the damage, because they're not getting damaged by the boss. 3.2k attack, 89 crit rate, 136 crit damage, 265 accuracy, 46 skill haste. I do have them all fully scrolled, guys. And you don't need to use Theodore necessarily. You can use different rare champions that deal damage. Gigel, for example. There are quite a few of them that can put in numbers. Eli, with a Witch's Remains, full crit rate, 139 crit damage, 3.3k attack, 232 accuracy. And Sigrid, with the Eyeball of the Giant, guys, 4,700 attack, 100% crit rate, 131 crit damage, no accuracy. And I will quickly show you a couple of different examples for rare champions, just in case if you are wondering. So you can use Dench if you want as a damage dealer, or you can use Gigel. They're both going to do a pretty decent amount of damage. Plus, damage dealt to the hero by enemies under healing prohibition will be reduced by 30%, which can be pretty nice, you know. And yeah, smaller version of attack down. If it's easier for you to scroll some rares, you know, you can get some decent damage with these two as well. But hopefully you guys found this video helpful. I wish I was going to be able to show you a 22+ million team without Zephy and Ogok, but unfortunately I cannot do it just yet. Maybe we will be able to do it in the Otherworld event with the Alliance bonuses. This is my Psychic core in case if you are wondering. This is actually much better on my account than it is on the test server, funny enough. The damage reduction is the next thing that I will be prioritizing on the Psychic core, guys. But how I mentioned, that was all for today's video. If you guys want to get involved with Dragonheir Silent Gods, head over to the link in the description down below or scan the QR code you see on the screen. Big shout out to Dragonheir again for sponsoring today's video. Much love, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Peace.